How do they line up? They look like this for round 30 of the ROKiT F4 British Championship. Louis Sharp on pole, double pole this weekend. Deegan Fairclough is next up. Then Will McIntyre and Jimmy Pezik, who's having a good weekend. Akil Alibi, the South African, probably his last race in the Formula. And his compatriot Mika Abrahams alongside for Fortec. Fortec, the only team to have, I think, 2 drivers, the whole lineup basically getting poles. Gabe Stilp is next up from Freddie Slater. Dion Gowder on row 5 with Gustav Johnson, Kanato Lee and Pat Hoytsenroder on row 6. 7th row, James Higgins and Jack Sherwood. Kai Darianani for Virtuosi alongside his teammate Dowie De Decker. Then it's Noah Lyle and Josh Irfan in the number 12 car. The grid completed by Isaac Barashi, who scored his 2nd podium of the season in race number 1 of the day. So really good drive from him, but he has to start off the back. Remember, it was a totally reversed grid race that we had there. We saw the top 3 in the championship. Dion Gowder is 4th currently, and James Higgins for Fortec in 5th. Difficult to not to overlook Fortec, who have done a good job this year with their 2 drivers both having spells, as I mentioned, on the grid on pole position. It's been a very, very competitive championship this year, Phil.
It certainly has, and to the fact that there's Sharp's got 6 wins and McIntyre's got 2, it just shows how many other people have won this year. So no, it is competitive, and all the teams here have done an amazing job. But it's definitely been Carlin and Hitech who have been shining the most, with Carlin actually winning the teams championship. They've actually already won that. Yeah, let's see if Sharp can win the championship.
Sharp and Fairclough on the front row. Again, great start by Deegan Fairclough, and that is going to put Louis Sharp into the clutches of Will McIntyre, who gets away in 3rd place. Jimmy Pezik is in 4th, his teammate. So it's panning out for a nail-biting finish here to the championship, but Deegan Fairclough nailed that start, Phil Blue.
That was unbelievable. Great start from P2 on the grid, and he managed to get past him before the first corner. But that, like you said, puts Sharp into the clutches of McIntyre. So can McIntyre do anything about this to try and save this championship?
Big sort out going on behind, but we've really got to watch what's going on out front. Fairclough would love to sign off with a fastest off the front win. He hasn't had one of those, surprisingly. Has had 2 very convincing reverse grid race wins, not incidentally from pole position either. In fact, we haven't had any races won from pole in reverse. They've been, everyone has had merit in their wins. And this is the view from the 3rd place man. What are your thoughts, Phil, as you're chasing the championship leader?
Well, can Fairclough pull away, or is he going to hold up the next 2, which are obviously the championship contenders? So will McIntyre be able to get on terms with Sharp early enough, or will Sharp be able to start attacking Fairclough? Fairclough has always been threatening to get involved in this championship contention, and he's had 2 fastest laps this weekend. He's a quick lad. He's now leading the race, but can he get in the mix here?
Well, this is what we're going to have to see. We remember that Fairclough has had the two fastest laps from both races so far this weekend. So nobody has been faster in the race than him, and now he's in that lead. So Sharp might just have to consolidate P2. We'll see what McIntyre has got in his armoury. Pezik still 4th as they go across the line. Gabe still running well. He's runner-up in the Rookie Championship. Johnson, the winner of that, down in 10th, who joins the ranks of Christian Mansell, currently in Formula 3. Zane Maloney, a former Rookie Champion. And, of course, Jack Doohan, the Alpine reserve driver.
There's Lyle trying to make a move on Higgins there as they go into Druids. But that's opened it up to Sherwood to get round the outside of him. They go side by side as they go into turn 3. They get through the corner nicely, but that was a bit of close racing between those guys. But he's still defensive, look, as they're coming up to Surtees. Oh, it looked like there was a bit of contact, but they managed to get through the corner, and you can see that's Irfan as well, running a little bit wide as he's coming on out of Surtees on the exit curve. They're still side by side, look.
Yeah, Sherwood's still going for this. Noah Lyle, who had some races in the Spanish F4 Championship, well, it hasn't been a full campaign for him in British F4, but he's got the line as they go into Hawthorns, maintains position over Jack Sherwood as we go a little bit further forward. Now watch the rest of the field coming through. We say congratulations to Rodin Carlin on their team championship win. Fairclough still out front from Sharp. Interesting to see how the flying laps go. I'm not sure they're going to get... You were saying yesterday, Phil, about temperatures and whether we were going to reach lap record pace at this stage of year.
Yeah, no, it was. It's obviously quite hot this weekend, much hotter than normal for October, and yeah, it's very hard to get the lap times out of the tyre or the engine. It's the engines run a lot better when it's cooler. The tyres obviously last a lot longer when it's cooler, so yeah, it will be tricky. But it is cooling down a little bit. It is getting later on in the day, so maybe we'll see some quick lap times. But you tend not to in race 3 because they've sort of used all their tyres up already. And yeah, but let's see who can look after the tyres the best, who can get to the end. We've still got 16 minutes of this race to go, and Fairclough is there in touching distance of Sharp, but let's see if how close McIntyre is behind Sharp, because it's all sort of maybe settling down a little bit. But I'd say that Sharp is pulling away from McIntyre, which is not what Will needs to be able to fight for the championship into this last race.
And of course, to underline that, Sharp got the fastest first flying lap, 1 minute 25.532, so would have pulled away from McIntyre on that one, but they've got to just settle down and see what they do. Lap record 124.409, Joseph Lowe. Again with JHR, who've been consistently quick round here. Some teams just find a sweet setup for various circuits, and they've been good round here. McIntyre, of course, was runner-up in Ginetta Juniors, and that was sealed here last year, and won't be happy about necessarily being runner-up in the championship again. But remember, he only had 1 year in each championship.
Yeah, it is impressive. Yeah, he was a rookie in the Ginetta Juniors, and he finished second to Josh Rowledge. And now this year he's had his first year in F4, and he's had some wins, and he's been fighting for the championship. And it's never over till it's over, but it is looking pretty good for Louis Sharp in the Carlin car at the minute, as he's chasing down Fairclough. He's managing to get on terms with him. He might be able to start picking up a slipstream soon, which might allow him to get a run on him going into Hawthorns or maybe into the last corner.
Fairclough, the race leader, and Sharp would love to just get that cushion, wouldn't he, to get in front, put a car between himself and his championship challenger as they go through Surtees. But
great start. Louis didn't quite get off the line, but it is in the dip there in pole position. It is a lot harder to get up that hill, but yet it's McIntyre that needed to get the jump, but it was Fairclough that did it.
yeah, superb start from him. The two youngsters vying for the championship, not even of age to race on the road, if you're watching this and wondering, because you see Formula Racing and you see these guys and you think they're, you know, probably just slightly younger than the Formula One drivers that are pedalling around, but these guys aren't even old enough, the front two drivers, not even old enough to drive on the road. Louis Sharp comes from Christchurch in New Zealand, was 16 in May, and Will McIntyre 16 in August, 14th of August, day before my birthday, so he's a Leo. Not that that makes any difference, I don't buy into
Not really.
That. There we go.
Something to talk about.
What's your sign, Phil?
So yeah, no, it's they're young lads. They're very young lads, like you said, and this is where you've got to start in this championship. I mean, the only person that was a teen when they made it into Formula One was recently was Max Verstappen at 17 years old, and he could have done F4 this year.
What happened to him?
He's not bad, is he? He's done pretty well. But yeah, it's impressive to see these young lads, you know, starting testing when they're 14 years old and racing when they're 15. It's super impressive, and the talent that comes out. A big moment there as he's on board with Louis Sharp. He's pushing hard. He's had a little bit of oversteer as he's been trying to turn into Surtees, which has lost him a little bit of ground, but I'm not sure if that's helped McIntyre out at all. But yeah, obviously Fairclough managed to get a bit of a jump on him there.
Yeah, Fairclough's got the fastest lap now, 125.223, so the JHR man looking for a hat-trick of Motul fastest laps in the F4 British Championship. And this is the view from Louis Sharp, who has been very consistent. Even when he lost the championship lead at our non-touring car round at Silverstone, it didn't affect him. It didn't appear to affect him. And it's so key. He's such a mature youngster. He seems to get on great with his dad, who always helps him with his pre-race warm-ups. And Jason, his dad's a lovely guy, as Will McIntyre's family are, and Will's mum in particular is great, good value for money as well, keeping us posted with everything going on. And those two lads seem to be good friends as well off track.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent, you know, you have to get on because you're in a lot of the tracks together at the same time. But let's see a replay of further back as they think someone has a bit of a moment. Yeah, Lyle has a big one as he clips the grass trying to turn in. That's a big moment, not something that you want to be doing at that speed, but he's got away with it, only lost one place. But I think he maybe was just not quite concentrating on where he was going, because that was a big drop of a wheel on the grass.
Yeah, that a huge accident waiting to happen right there. But thankfully, he gets it all back in line. As you say, just one place lost, and it's going to be just you know, no points actually, because they're outside the top 12, isn't it? So that was Jack Sherwood going past up into 14th position. This is the race a little bit further back with David de Decker busy chasing Josh Irfan, who we saw win race 2 earlier in the day, and Isaac Barashi ahead of them, who's actually done a good job to make 2 passes in this race. He'll be wanting points gained places
He finished third as well in race 2 as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
He's
second podium of the year, but he's making places here as well.
Pretty good weekend for him so far. Hopefully we'll see him back next year. I've been a rookie. Obviously for Team Argenti, it'd be nice to see them all working hard together to get back out for next season. But Irfan as well, pushing hard. He had a win earlier on. His second win, I think it is, Irfan, of the year.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So, he's obviously helped Carlin become the team's champion, along with Louis Sharp. Who else is with Carlin? You've got Lyle, who's obviously, like you said, he's done certain races this year, but he's also been doing a dual campaign with the Spanish Championship. But we're back on board with Will McIntyre. He is starting to maybe close in a little bit on Louis Sharp, like we talked about tyres earlier. Maybe Louis just pushed a bit too hard to try and get away from McIntyre, starting to slide around a bit more. Can McIntyre now get back on terms with him and maybe have a chance with 10 minutes to go to put a move on him?
Even if McIntyre passes, if Sharp finishes in the top 3, it's academic, apart from the fastest lap. Because if Sharp finishes 1 place behind McIntyre, whatever happens, he will take the championship. If McIntyre finishes 2 places ahead, i.e. first with Sharp third, the gap comes down to, the 10 points comes down to being tied. You've then got to look at the fastest lap. If they're still equal, we look at the number of wins, and as you rightly pointed out, 6 wins so far for Sharp, so he gets it on the tie-break. It's about winning races.
Yeah, no, it's not a lot of is happening at the minute, is it? We could do with a bit more excitement with McIntyre, maybe just finding a bit more pace to try and put a move on him. But yeah, it was a great bit of footage there on board with McIntyre. You can see he was pushing hard. He's working hard on that wheel just to sort of hang on to the grip that he's got left. But yeah, I don't know, he's definitely catching the seal on the lap times. Like Sharp's done a 25.2, but then also McIntyre's done a 25.2 as well. 24.9 for Fairclough, so he's really pushing on now. He's got a 1.5 second lead now. So it is down to these two to create some action to give the viewers something to watch now.
I think that's the fastest lap of the weekend for Fairclough. He's still a little bit away from the lap record, and we very rarely get a fastest race of the weekend in race 3, as you pointed out, with tyre wear and everything else. So this is a really good performance from Fairclough again.
Yeah, he's done an amazing job to keep getting faster. 24.4, you say, was the lap record.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, 24.9, not bad in race 3. Let's see if he can find a little bit more pace to sort of get close to that.
See why you're a coach. You like pushing these boys, don't you?
Yeah. Get every last bit out of them.
So Fairclough still up front from Sharp. McIntyre in third. It looks like the championship is going down to New Zealand at the moment as we continue to look at Barashi, Josh Irfan and Dawi Dedeker, the young Belgian. Very impressive motorhome they got all liveried up, which they've toured around in the kart circuits in Europe. And I do hope they'll come back, because Dawi, I think, has got a lot to offer this championship for next year. Certainly,
yeah. He's done an amazing job. It'd be great to see him back.
Great little character as well. I think the family-run swimming pool business and vineyards, which sounds like a pretty dream ticket to me. I must get to know him a lot better. There we go then. So yeah, good battling everywhere you look. But Fairclough, 1.7 is the gap, first to second position. A bit closer further back, isn't it?
We've got a time penalty there, I think. The black and white flag also for number 5. So that's McIntyre, black and white flag, track limits for number 5 and number 23. So that is Johnson. So these two need to be careful. That's the last thing that Will needs to be doing, is getting a penalty for track limits. But he's obviously pushing hard to even warrant getting track limits. So
how would that affect the psychology? Obviously you can't say for Will, but how would that affect you if you were in the U-Race single-seaters in this situation, chasing for the championship, and suddenly that warning comes up? How do you feel?
He's got nothing to lose at the end of the day, and that's what you've got to do. If you've got to push the track limits just a little bit more than you would do, it's only a warning at the minute, but it could be a lot more. But he's got nothing to lose. He has to beat him. So if that means just getting back a bit further over the limit, then of course you would try it, because he's got to do something.
We've had some great finales here over the years, and the one I remember well was the Luke Browning year over Zach O'Sullivan. Many people thought that Zach was very unlucky. Indeed he was, because the race result was declared before half distance, so it was half points, and that lost him the championship to Luke. Both him and Luke, super guys and super drivers, and have both gone. Nice to see Zach here this weekend, actually, as well.
Is he here? Yeah. He's just finished second in FIA F3, so he's gone on to great things, and I think we'll probably see him in F2 next year. So it's good to see another driver that's been in this championship going on to much higher levels. But yeah, Browning as well, very strong in FIA F3 this year. We'll probably do it again next year. It's yeah, definitely starts in F4. That's where the talent comes from.
We've got some good drivers here in the UK, and you know what? That's why it attracts people like Louis Sharp, Jimmy Pezik over from Australia and New Zealand, and all the other drivers and countries that come and race here. In a couple of weeks' time, we've got the Formula Ford Festival. That attracted the greats in years gone by. Michael Schumacher, I think, had his only race in the club racing at UK, or certainly Brands Hatch here in the festival.
Yeah.
The likes of Eddie Irvine, of course, coming over from Ireland. We always have a strong Ireland contingent, but so many great drivers from outside of the UK come and ply their trade at this level because they know that it is an essential part of the ladder and it is very competitive.
Well, the list in the Kensington here, which is the restaurant at Brands Hatch.
That's worth seeing, isn't it?
It is. The list of Formula Ford winners is up there, and it's incredible how many of them made it to Formula One. So yeah, it's a great event. I did it myself a few years ago. I say a few years ago, about 20 years ago. But yeah, it's an amazing event here at Brands.
And so we've got that to look forward to in a few weeks with the BRSCC, which you can't wait for. Let's take a quick stock of where we are. 1.9 seconds the gap. Fairclough extending it at the moment over Louis Sharp in P2. Sharp will be content to be ahead of Will McIntyre, and know where his arch rival is. There is McIntyre in the number 5 car. Man from Wroxham, still racing well. He's done a fair bit of karting over the years as well, but still, because he's only had this sort of one-year pattern in juniors and now F4, you know, he's going to have to move on. I'm sure he will move on for next year, but he's got that sort of extra year spare, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah. He could do it another year, or he'll go on to GB3, which is the next step up from F4 or F3 itself, FIA F3. But it's yeah, it's definitely the way forward to go. Ginetta Juniors, F4, and then there's another number of routes that you can go. Freddie Slater, we obviously seen him doing well at Donington. He's been very quick over the last few weeks here at Brands. Didn't quite put qualifying together. He's running 7th at the minute, but he's another one that's moved up to F4. He'll do a year of that, and then I think he'll move on to F3 the year after. But it's all down to your age as well. You've got to be born up in the right month at the right time to get into the championship you want to get into.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I guess we've got some more youngsters coming up from Ginetta for next year. I know you've been helping some drivers with coaching and testing. Yeah.
I've worked with a lot of drivers in Ginetta Juniors, and I think we're going to see some of them from this year come into this championship. Obviously, like we just said, Freddie did it early because he wrapped up the championship so early, and we're starting to get a little bit of a battle here with
keen, isn't it?
Irfan. Yeah, so let's see if he can make a move on Barashi as he runs a little bit wide coming out the last corner. But this is going to allow Dideka back onto the back of Irfan. Is he going to make a move? He's going to think better of it on this occasion, but maybe he'll get a good run. He's running a little bit wide. That's allowed Barashi to pull away very slightly. Now Dideka's attacking Irfan, but no, he's going to defend that well.
Yeah, when you look at this, I mean, bear in mind that these guys have been race winners or on the podium. I think aside from Dowie, but he's had rookie podiums over the course of the season. So even though they're down towards the tail end of the field, maybe having had a difficult qualifying, they still know how to race. They're still learning their racecraft. And of course, the key thing is yellow background, first-year drivers. Absolutely no disgrace to be at the back of the field and putting on some great racing for us with 3 minutes to go of this year's season.
Time penalty number 78. He's got a 10-second penalty.
Sherwood.
Yeah. So
that's applied, isn't it? It drops him down to 14th position, which is a shame. Chris Tittman Racing picking up their first F4 silverware with the Rookie Championship, of course.
That's brilliant.
Number 1. So really pleased for them, and hope that they will come back next year and move onwards. So always a pleasure to see Chris and the team here. How this is going to pan out, whether we're going to see Irfan make the move on Barashi, who's learned such a lot. Isaac Barashi really has. He hasn't had years and years of karting. He's came up through, I think, if I remember correctly, the story he told me at the start of the year was a little bit of corporate karting, and then got sort of encouraged, as people do.
Yeah, I know, it's mental,
to come in, and here he is, racing properly, and getting overall podium, which we had another one of him race 2, and coming under pressure. Actually, that's Irfan coming under pressure from Dideka. Yeah,
Dideka just ran a little bit wide though through paddock, so he's was out on the marbles, lost a lot of grip, and now that's going to give Irfan a bit of breathing space. So yeah, we'll have to see one of these guys make a move soon. But as you can see, it's so difficult to overtake round Brands GP. It's so fast and flowing that the braking zones are very short, and it's hard to get that jump on someone. But let's see if someone can make a move soon.
We're hearing that Gabe Stilp's got a 5-second penalty as well. That's another of the rookie runners. He's the lead rookie driver. I'm not sure whether that will lose him the rookie lead at the moment, but Stilp's in car number 7, a little bit further up as we continue to watch this battle with the 3 drivers, 17th, 18th and 19th place. Stilp, in fact, with the penalty applied, still appears in 5th place. So Akil Alibi will now try to overcome that. Deegan Fairclough still, there is Gabe Stilp. Gabe's really come on as well. Again, you look at Gabe's rookie year, and he may well move on, but with I watched him at Croft. He was a joy to watch at Croft. The way he was just in command of the car, and I don't like the word, the phrase, throwing the car into the corners, but it looked as if he could, and he would get away with it. He showed great car control there. Yeah, good confidence.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's what it's all about. Is having the confidence to push these cars to the limit, and you know you can tell we have a smooth. Oh, we've got an off here at paddock.
Yeah, that's Kai Darinani, isn't it? Yeah,
Darinani's gone very wide through paddock. We'll have to maybe get a replay of that shortly and see exactly what happened. But we almost saw the tracks very wide as he's going through paddock. Yeah, you can see he's done well to stay out of the wall. He might have clipped it actually. But yeah, he won't have done any damage because it was slow speed. He's rubbed the tyre wall and got going again. So yeah, thank goodness for that. That means we don't have to have a safety car, and he can get back into the race.
Yeah, we didn't want the race finished under a safety car. We're on the last lap. He was just ahead of these 3. So those guys will sort out. Meanwhile, Deegan Fairclough, is he going to squeeze another lap out of this one? We've got 5 seconds on the clock. Are they going to put the checker out early? No, he gets the last lap ball.
Oh, that's close.
So he doesn't care. They normally go, oh, the driver wishes the checkered flag had come out there.
Not with his pace.
Deegan won't. No way. Either way, isn't he? 2.4 seconds clear. Louis Sharp would have liked the checker there.
Yeah, he certainly would. Yeah.
But then again, he's not under any huge pressure, is he? Only that to which he places himself.
I just saw them all come through that gravel that Darinani had put on the track. It was all starting to slide around as these guys were the first people to it, but they all got through. That could have put a spanner in the works for Sharp's championship campaign. But yeah, this is his last chance now, last lap. Can Will McIntyre do anything special on this last lap? He doesn't look close enough, if I'm honest. And Louis Sharp has done an amazing job all weekend.
He has.
He's had a double pole. He's had a win. He's now going to look like he's going to get a second, and he will get the championship.
He will, and do you know what is another stat for you? Deegan Fairclough will come away, if he takes the check here, with 3 wins to McIntyre's 2.
Wow, that's impressive.
He's done so well. So there is Deegan Fairclough going into Stirling's for the last time. Champion-elect, I think we can say now. Louis Sharp, barring any mechanical problems. Carlin won't give him a duff car for sure. I'm putting myself at risk saying that as we get the 87 car, the ROKiT car, the scholarship winner, the man who won the competition in sim racing to come and join us this year. And he signs off in superb style. Deegan Fairclough's 3rd win of the year, cements 3rd place in the championship. There is our champion. Louis Sharp takes 2nd position and gets the better of Will McIntyre in that race to win the 2023 ROKiT F4 British Championship, certified by FIA. And again, that last bit means that this is a step up the ladder towards Formula 1 to those drivers. Jimmy Pezik 4th, Gabe Stilp top rookie, he's in 5th place ahead of Akil Alibi, who wraps up the top 6.
Yeah, like you said, the FIA points for his super licence, 12 points for winning this championship. You need 40 to gain a place into Formula 1, so that's a massive step for Louis Sharp to gain those points, and that's 1 step closer to his dream of getting to Formula 1. So congratulations to Carlin and Louis Sharp for clinching both championships.
Absolutely superb performance from them once again. And Louis, all the drivers this year, thank you for your company in the paddock and for chatting to us and giving us the stories and putting on some terrific racing. And obviously mega congratulations to Louis, his dad Jason, they've been really great company all year, and to Will McIntyre on 2nd position and his family, who it's been a joy to meet. We look forward to following them on their upward journey, and of course Deegan Fairclough as well, who takes the win. Oops. Make sure we get the car stopped.
Needs to put it in gear.
Yeah.
He's forgotten.
So we'll pop the car in gear, and he's entitled to that.
Yeah, he was busy, ready to celebrate.
Deegs goes over to have a look at that. Camaraderie is superb, isn't it? Well done, Deegan. Well done, Louis Sharp, the champion. Jacob Ebery there to take the pictures. That's the first real celebration I've seen for a while since Louis Sharp. Very well deserved. Here's the results. It is Deegan Fairclough from Louis Sharp and Will McIntyre in third. Jimmy Pezik next up from Gabe Stilt, who was top rookie. Akil Alibi, sixth from Freddie Slater and Mika Abrahams. Dion Gowder in ninth and Gustav Johnson in 10th. 11th goes to Pat Hoytson-Roda. Kanato Lee 12th from James Higgins and Noah Lyle. Isaac Brashi next up. Josh Irfan, Dowie Dedeka, Jack Sherwood and Kai Darianani. All the cars finishing a fitting finish to the season. Championship standings. Well done to our champion Louis Sharp, 13 points clear at the end of Will McIntyre from Deegan Fairclough in third. Dion Gowder next up from Jimmy Pezik and James Higgins. Kanato Lee. Akil Alibi 8th from Gabe Stilt and Noah Lyle. And our rookie champion Gustav Johnson from Gabe Stilt and Josh Irfan, Dowie Dedeka in fourth from Isaac Barashi and Matteo De Palo.